Hey, I'm Owen from Square Balloon, and we often get asked, what is more important for better have better conversion rates or to have more traffic to the site? And often when I hear people giving examples, I hear them giving really extreme examples. So if you don't have anyone to your website, the conversion rate doesn't matter. Or if you have loads of your people to your website, but you have a 0% conversion rate, then it doesn't matter how many people come to your website. But of course, in real life, they're both kind of unrealistic because you're not going to have a 0% conversion rate a lot of the time unless something is broken, and you're not going to have no traffic most of the time unless you've done something like de-indexed your site or made it hidden or something like that. So let's talk about conversion rates, and that will help us to understand things. So this is showing the bubble size is the sessions, so how many people, like 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever. This is conversion rate, so percentage, and this will be the page load times. So what this is showing us is the longer it takes for a page to load, the lower the conversion rates. And actually, it doesn't seem to matter too much between 10 and 6 seconds. It's a slow load time, in my opinion, and the conversion rates kind of decreases very slightly. But if you increase it to 1 second or 2 seconds, conversion rate increases significantly. Now, taking a conversion rate from like 3% to 5% will give you an insane difference. So if you have 100 people come to your site, 3% conversion rate, you get 3 sales, right? If you have a 5% conversion rate, you get 5 sales, right? So only 2 more sales. It doesn't sound like a lot. And 100 people to your site is also not a lot. Um, but if you think about it like this, like I had 3 and now I've got 5, I'm like nearly double. I'm like 80%. So if I increase my sales by 80%, that's huge, right? So if we talk about increasing our traffic by like 2%, say, so say our traffic is 100 and we increase it by 2%, we're only really going to get 102 people. So we're not going to increase our sales by the 80% that we have managed to achieve, if you see what I mean. In fact, what we would need is to have like 180 people really to get that same result. So that's why people often say that conversion rates is more important than traffic. Of course, like if you have no traffic, you do need to get some there in the first place, and like everything, conversion rates they peak. There's a limit to how many you can get, and traffic they peak as well. If you are a local plumber in Chelmsford and you're trying to get 50 billion people to come to your shop website, it's unlikely because there aren't 50 billion people near to Chelmsford who really want to come to your plumbing shop or website. If you're a global trader, potentially that could be true, but if you're trading locally, as I started by saying, it's just not going to happen. There isn't enough people, right? There's going to be a limit to how many. So once you get to a certain point, you won't be able to get more traffic just because there isn't any that exists. And same with conversion rates. There is like you're never going to have 100% of people come to your website and buy your product. It might be the price, it might be the color of your website, or it could be that they just clicked the wrong thing and this isn't what they're looking for. Loads of reasons, but you're never going to have 100%. So it's pretty unrealistic to think you would have. So that both of them have a peak as well. So you need to be aware of that. Moving on from this diagram, let's look at this one. This is total sessions. So 100% of people who came to your website, and out of that 100%, 43% have gone to a page view, right? They've viewed a product, sorry. So they've gone from maybe the home page to a product page. Now they're looking at the information about the product, and 14.5% of them have put that into a cart, and 3.3% have now decided to buy it. So I hate to break it to you for anyone who's thinking that, oh, like everybody's going to come and buy stuff. 3.3% is about the average that you're going to get on e-commerce. So next diagram I'm going to show you is the average by industry. So as you can see, like 3.3% is actually pretty damn good. Nobody is really getting 5%. There are websites that are getting 5%, so this is an average, but there are websites that are getting 5%, but that's like really is outstanding behavior. Like 3% is still really, really good. And as you can see, like Baby and Child only gets 1% on industry average. So I'm sure there are some sites doing better, But maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe people are more fussy about buying things for their baby. Maybe they do more price checking because babies are expensive. Maybe they don't have money. Maybe healthcare and pet care are better because people are excited about doing something for their health and for their pets as well. And the best one is arts and crafts. I don't know. I'm just guessing as to why these reasons could be. Maybe it's because arts and crafts are all low ticket items. Maybe it's just brushes and there's not much difference between one brush and another brush. So people just say, oh, well, it's £2. I'm not going to shop around. I'll just buy the brush for £2. I don't know if this is the reason. I'm just giving you the information. So next thing that people would want to know now that they have this information is, well, gee, which page should I optimize first? Like you've got a website and you've got all these different pages. You can't just optimize them all. You have to start on one, right? You can optimize them all, but you have to start on one. And my clients always ask me to start on the home page. Now, is this the correct thing to do? The answer, in my strong opinion, is no. And it is my opinion, but I will talk you through it. So they've gone to this page and they're looking around. Now they visit another page and this has lots of products on it, right? So this is multiple products on one page. They click on one and now they're onto an individual product page. They add it to the basket and then they go to the checkout page and first of all it shows them a summary of their basket and then it allows them to purchase. This is just a demo site, so this is why it says choose a payment method and one isn't even there. Turned it off. I don't want anyone to buy anything by accident. So now they're on this page, and the next page would be like either putting in their card details, going to PayPal, whatever the page is. So first things first, if you have a 0% conversion rate, you would be wanting to look at, do these pages work properly? First thing you'd want to do is go and buy something as if you were a customer. Go through it and try and buy something and see if it works. Get someone else to buy something and see if it works. Obviously, you probably want to put the product of like £1 or 50p or something cheap so that you can do that. But yeah, that's kind of where it's at. So which one to optimize first? Customers always ask us to do this one first. This is not the right one. These guys have put something in the cart. They want it. They desire it. They need it. They've put it in the cart. They've gone to the checkout and they've gone all the way through to this point here. And now they're not purchasing. Is there a problem with the page or can we optimize it somehow? If there's no problem, perhaps there's like this one, for example, has lots of fields on it. Perhaps the customer doesn't want to fill all those fields in. Perhaps there's a reason that's why they're failing. So a lot of the time when we're doing this, we know what is happening. We don't always know why. So then you would come up with a hypothesis. Oh, there's too many fields. Let's reduce the fields and see if that changes the conversion rate. And then you would test it. And you would test this version versus the original version. So the original version versus a new version with less fields. And you would see, because you're getting roughly the same types of traffic from the same types of sources, because you're not doing anything different marketing wise, and you'll see if the conversion rate improves or not. And if it does, and you have enough data to prove that, then you would switch it over and go with a better version and maybe carry on optimizing at that point. But the reason to optimize this first is because they're so close to the purchase. They're just one step away and they clearly want it. If I optimize this page, it could be someone who's come there by accident or any other reason. They're not necessarily close to buying. They could be browsing. They may not be in the market. They might want to buy next week. These guys were like quite serious about it and something stopped them. So the next page to optimize would be this page. In my opinion, this page is not always needed. We could combine it. Sometimes you see on this page, like on Amazon, for example, like here are some other products that customers bought. Why don't you add them to the cart as well? So sometimes this page can be used to improve the cart value overall. So if you were seeing a conversion rate on this page of 3% and you added things here to say, hey, have you also considered buying these products too? Like, oh, you're buying some chocolate bars. Do you want some crisps with that? Right? And then you saw your conversion rate go down to 2%. And this is the only change you've done, you would know that that was probably the reason that the conversion rate dropped. And then you have an option to either put it back again and get the conversion rate up, or what I would do is say, well, actually, let's check what cart values are and everything else. Because say conversion rate drops to 2%, but cart value increases by 50%, you might still be better off. You might say, I don't mind having a lower conversion rate because the cart value is still better. It doesn't mean you won't work on the conversion rate, but it might be that you sell more overall. We have seen it where customers have sold roughly the same amount of sales in terms of orders, number of orders, but profit has doubled, and that's because we improved the cart value of the order. Rather than making more sales, we just made them buy more stuff while they were buying. And then you would go to this individual item, you would go back to the lots of items, and then you'd go to the home page and the other pages at that point. So despite what you might think about maybe it should be homepage or maybe it should be about this product page, let's give them more information. And all of that is true. You would always start with this page because they're the closest to making the purchase. Hope that helps. If you like the videos, don't forget to subscribe.